Good morning, you guys. How is everybody doing this morning? I decided to jump on just for like a quick minute because I had not really been on. I'm gonna give y'all the opportunity to start getting the notifications. No, Rimster, because I just jumped on a whim. Ciao. Good morning. Hold on, you guys. Shoot, that TV is up so loud. Don't nobody lose a remote control like me. I can have it in my hand. And the next thing I know, it is somewhere else. Hey, truly grateful. And then I can never move around because this puppy likes to be right up under me, like she a baby or something. Who else is in here? Hey, Nicolay. Hey, Holistic Wellness Hub. Um, Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for my remote. I had it and lost it. I hate when I do that. Let me see who's on here. I see Truly Grateful, Little Miss Muffin. Thank you, Little Miss Muffin. Holistic Wellness, Nicolay. New to you. Shout out to my moms, Miss Diane. Thank you. Tyrone, the Alabama hitter. Shirley Jenkins, new to you. Well, you know what? I'm surprised myself. Just thinking about my dad. Like if at first it hit me, like I can't believe in it even now. Like I still I still um I go, dog, the strongest person I know. But just seeing how my dad, like, it gives me solace. And it wasn't no witch, no evil demon, any witch, any sorcerer, anybody that thinks that they have more power than God over me and my family. They'll be dead before this year's out. Trust me. Okay. Because it's evil people that consult with the dead and things of that nature. But me knowing, like, me knowing what I know now, um as far as my dad, being the strongest person that I know. My dad, kind of he kind of danced to his own beat. And so hey, the only thing I could say is he laid his foundation. He did everything that he wanted to do, and he left a legacy. And that's that. So it's really, nothing to be sad about at this point. Of course, I'm gonna miss him. I always love him. But even in his he said it's a celebration. you know he want us to celebrate. So because he lived life the way he did it, how he wanted to do it. He wrote it how he wanted to write it. He said he wrote his life out how he wanted it, and he danced to his own beat. And when he said when he goes off of the scene, it's a celebration because he laid that foundation for us to continue on the legacy. And that's exactly what'll happen. Okay. So thank you. You got some people that's still alive and they dead. Okay. Because anytime you jealous hearted, anytime you sitting up thinking you digging graves for other people, if that's all you know to do, then even though you breathing, you still dead. But this man laid foundations and left legacies behind, and he just did the darn thing. He lived a happy life. He did whatever he wanted to do, and he left a legacy behind for his daughters. So that's the reason why he could dance on out of here and be happy. He said it was time. It's time when I say it's time, when me and God say it's time. Okay. And no sickness or anything will ever dictate my life. It'll be on me and God's terms. That's a real man right there. Okay. Yep. So yeah, I decided to I decided to get on and have some morning coffee with you guys. And then we are, he already had everything written out. So I mean, everything. I'm gonna say something, and this is and this is for me and everybody else. Ladies, if you ain't got you a real man, get you one. Okay, we ain't got to do nothing. Everything was already written out. Um, hey, everything, the plot, everything is taken care of. He did it the way he wanted to do it. Okay, that's it. He had it written out one by one. How he did, I don't know, because a lot of people cringe at stuff like that. But we don't have to do anything other than follow whatever he already had did. If you ain't got you a real one, you better get you one. That's a real man right there. Okay. I got something to look forward to. Good morning. Because he left a letter. He wrote a letter for all of his girls. Personally. Hello. Wisdom night. And so that gives me something to look forward to. I didn't. I'm going to. As a matter of fact, yes, I did. It was up under another name. I looked at it like late last night while I was up, taking care of some stuff, and I'm going to send you all an email back personally. I appreciate you guys so much. I do. I do. Wow. Thank you, Diamond. Thank you, Miss Diane. I saw your email too. I saw all of you all's emails. I do appreciate it. I saw it early this morning. Um, Hold on. I wanted to show you all something. Hold on one second. Um, I wanted to show you all an inspirational video of my dad. Um, he was always. I got so many. Hold on, I'm looking for one on my Facebook page. Hey, Monica. I got so many. Hold on one second, you guys. I always did everything on my Facebook. Oh, that's not the right thing. Let me see. Secretary of Defense, Secretary of the Army, Navy, so on. We need to have that's one of the many times that I had Judge Joe Brown over there. The mayor. I think I zoned in on him, but he was over there on my dad's TV show. Let's see. Okay, you all see that is how the museum, like we had started, we was doing filming that at the museum right there. So y'all could see what we had started on, and everything was just about done, and that's what we'll finish. Thank you, Miss Teresa. And let me just say this. I'm just go ahead and get out of character for 1 minute. These pimps on YouTube don't have these simple ass women running no dead, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Just like I'm not playing with y'all about me, because these motherfuckers is going to jail for what they did to me. I'm not gonna play with these bitches about my motherfucking daddy. I don't give a damn about no family tree that you run, bitch. You can run that social security number if you want to. You go, that's the go to jail free card for real. I could just see somebody. Oh, go see if you could find his name. So these women will do anything. They don't even know the type of trouble that they already in. You're right. This ain't even about, because I get to thinking about these people, like, you know. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm looking for a video. I think it's way on down. Hold on, y'all. I think I already shown that one. That's right, wisdom, night. But anyways, you guys, you know, hey Monica, you're right. I'm not going to address that, but just know that you guys that I'm okay. That my dad was okay. He was great. And like I said, he did it the way he wanted to do it. And like I always said, like I was just saying, ladies, if you don't have a real man, and make sure he's a real one, because he's going to make sure that everything is the way that it should be, right? And that's that. Okay. So, hey, Nene Loyal. Hey, Lashandra. Monica J says, my dad transitioned in 2020 and it's still a struggle for me. Yeah. My dad and I think, we got a lifetime of memories, because the the first business that I started, everything that every just about, especially in my adult life, like everything, like the point that I'm at right now to this day is because of my dad. My dad was an astute businessman, and I know a lot of people, go, well, you brag on your dad. Oh, she brag on her dad. People are very miserable. But I talked about my father even when I would be on Facebook, and I don't really get on Facebook like that anymore. And when my dad was alive, I gave my dad his flowers, just like I give my mother her flowers all the time. My mother is a wonderful person. I don't know a woman alive that is better than my mother. She does not judge. She is everybody calls her, because the only thing she's gonna say when you go to her with your problem is, yeah, well, I don't know, we're gonna pray about it, and it may not be as bad as you think. Here's another way to look at it. you know she does not judge people, and that's why people have always called her and still do. Okay. And so my dad, he was very strong. Thank you, Nene Loyal. Um, he taught me about politics. He actually started my first business for me. I didn't have any money to do that. I remember I went to my dad and I was like, Dad, I think I want to be on TV. He said, Really? I said, Yeah. I said, there's this production company, and they're doing like local TV shows, and I want to be on TV, and I want to talk about surviving domestic violence. Since I work for the police department, I want to get on there and talk about domestic violence, because there's so many women losing their lives to domestic violence, especially around that time in Memphis. And he was like, Oh, okay. So I said, would you go over there with me? I'm going over to the production company. And I'm gonna tell and this right here is a testimony. I gotta tell this. And so he said, yeah, I'll go over there with you. And so we went over there. The production company their rates were extremely expensive. And so the people that was over the production company that had, because it was another network that tanked, okay? And so the lady kept I kept trying to get one of the ways that I became really good friends with a friend of mine right now. He owns several bonding companies, is because I walked into his bonding company and I was like, I got this TV show. I need some advertisers. I can advertise you. And I gave him this price. I didn't even know what I was doing. And he was like, well, that price is high, but I'll pay it. I said, okay, and he advertised with me for many years, taught me the bonding business. We became very good friends, still very good friends to this day. And he was just awesome, right? And so some things happening, and I told my dad, I was like, they keep going up on the price and this, and that. He said, well, I tell you what, I'm looking at, he said, I've started putting everything into order. I'm going to be retiring in about 2 or 3 years. He said, so if you find out, he said, have you thought about starting your own production company? I said, no, I don't know what to do. He said, well, you could figure out what to do. He said, why don't you go and start your own production company? He told me exactly what to name it. And he said, and we'll go from there. He said, if you could figure out what you need to do to own your own network on Comcast, I'll fund it. Okay. Y'all, I was sitting at the sheriff. I was working in the chief's office, and I started digging, and it was so hard. I couldn't figure out nothing. And so then I was listening to Thaddeus Matthews one day, and he kind of put some information into the atmosphere, and I said, aha, that's what I need to do. So I ended up getting in touch with the person, trying to get in. Figured out the guy that was over Comcast, his name, right? And it was actually his son's name. And this is how you know when you got favor on your life, when something is meant for you. I reached out, I found him on Facebook, and I was like, are you over Comcast? Because he was like, nah, that's my dad. And I said, well, I'm trying to get in touch with your dad. He said, well, he's out of town. I'm going to give you his cell phone number and just tell him I gave it to you. He didn't know me, nothing like that. So I called him and I left a message. Like 3 weeks later, I was sitting I was sitting in the chief's office at work. That's when I was working for the sheriff's office. And so the guy called me back. I didn't think he was going to call me back. He said, yeah. He said his name. He said, I hear you trying to start something on Comcast. Yeah, I'm over that. This what you got to do. This what you got to do. I mean, it was a whole lot of stuff, right? And I was like, dog, I don't know how I'm going to do all that. And he was like, I'll forward you the paperwork. And, so when it was like 50 something pages, like TV stuff, it's a lot. You have to get all millions of dollars worth of insurance. I was like, well, I don't know how in the hell I'm going to do all this, right? And so the guy, I didn't even worry about it. I was like, I ain't gonna even worry about it. But the guy called me back 2 weeks later. He said, did you get that paperwork filled out? He was like, because he was mad at the other production company. And because he was kind of saying it to me, he was like, I'm gonna get their asses off of here, this, and that. So you can replace that. And so he said, he sat on the phone with me. He said, I know that paperwork is hard to fill out, but I'm going to go over it with you verbatim and tell you everything to do to fill that out. My dad went and he was like, you need an attorney. My dad went and got an attorney that day. And I told my dad, I was like, Dad, we need like $2.5 million worth of insurance. And he said, oh, don't worry about that. And so my dad got the insurance that same day. Like I was up and ready to go within like 2 weeks. I was like, dog, I own this network. Like it was just, it kind of fell in my lap because God gave me favor with the guy that was over Comcast, um, the director, and God touched my dad's heart. And so my dad, he was like, okay, now we need a studio. And I was like, yeah, we do. I was like, studios are very expensive. And my dad was like, I tell you what, you just find a studio and we'll go from there. And I ended up finding a studio, and we started out really small, right? And then God gave me favor with the man that was over the building, and he gave me a way bigger office for a little bit of nothing. And we was in the one office for like 3 months, and we moved to a way bigger office. And my dad was like, don't worry about it, I pay for it. He was like, I tell you what, I'll give you time to figure out what to do and how to make the money or whatever. In the meantime, I'll just fund it. So my dad was just awesome. Thank you, Miss Essie, for the cash app. My dad was just awesome. So when people, sit up and say she brag on her dad, it's some twisted folks. I think everybody should brag on their dad if they had a good dad. I had a wonderful dad that I was telling my auntie last night. My auntie said, your dad sure did set y'all up. I said, if I didn't do anything else, I took advantage of the opportunities that my dad laid, the foundations he laid for us, because he kept saying, and see, my dad kept a lot of stuff a secret from us. He did, he kept a lot of stuff a secret. And he was like, he kept saying, I just want to do 3 more years. This museum, I want to get this museum going. And in 3 years, I'm gonna move on off the scene. And I kept saying, what you gonna do? You gonna finally just sit down, Dad? And he said, nah, I'm gonna move on off the scene. Y'all gonna be able to handle it. So he was dealing with some things even then. He was very private. He didn't tell us nothing, but he kept on going like a real soldier. He did. He kept trucking like a real soldier. He is a real man. I'll love him forever. I wouldn't care what a miserable bitch or bitch nigga said. That was a real soldier. He was one of a dying breed, okay? And so we definitely have something to celebrate. And that's the reason why he wrote, and all of his everything that he left behind, like he all the directions behind, okay? It's a celebration, because I did my thing. I danced to my own drums. And now it's time to go. Thank you. Truly grateful. Thank you so much. So there was certain topics and stuff that my dad loved for me to talk about. And I was up last night getting some stuff together. Like I'm gonna get back to that, right? We'll start getting back into that. I kept saying it because he would always say, I like it when you talk about that. New to you says he's 77 on dialysis. Some are envious because they don't know what true love and direction is from parents. That's true. I was listening to somebody say that one day, that some people become extremely jealous, especially if they didn't have that in their life. If they didn't have a father's love or a mother's love, instead of saying, oh, that's so beautiful. I know that's how I am. Like, if I didn't have something, I would say like a relationship, like when I see people that are truly in love, I'm talking about like a man and a man, a man and a woman, a husband and a wife, or just a couple. And I see how truly they are in love and how they look at each other. I admire that. I don't get jealous and go, yeah, it's going good now, but it sure is gonna start to go wrong. That's not how I live my life. I was not raised up like that. I'm not a pessimistic person. I'm not a hating person. I'm not a jealous person. And so that's why when I see people that are like that, okay, when I see people that are like that, I get them out of my life. Okay, I get them up out of my life. I don't like, if I see a woman is jealous, not that it don't even have to be a jealous spewed at me, but if I see that jealousy is spewed at another woman, I know that it could quickly turn on me. I don't deal with jealous people. Jealousy is as cruel as the grave. Okay, it is as cruel as the grave. I've always been able to, even though I talk about how I grew up in the projects until I was about 12 or 13 years old, even when I was living in the projects, we didn't know that we were poor. If I wanted a hula hoop, we wanted small stuff. I had a hula, I got that. Thank you, DCat Daddy, for the $50 super sticker. I got that. I got the hula hoop. I had everything I ever wanted. And I never wanted anything but small stuff, Barbie dolls and stuff like that. I played with Barbie dolls until I was about 12 or 13. So I didn't have to be jealous of other people. I always had a persevering spirit. That's why when they thought they was going to run me off of here, I had to let them know. And my dad would be going, you know what? When my mama would say, oh, I was looking at some of these folks, some evil people. I didn't raise you up like that. And my dad would say, yeah, but you don't, but you on there for a purpose. So you do what you got to do. Because even though I don't need you to, I got my dad's spirit. Yeah, you don't, the last thing, because they want you off of there, the last thing you do is let them run you off, and you file some reports on them niggas. Okay. And that's why I kept filing police reports and gonna file some more. Okay. It ain't gonna be no fake ones either, because that's against the law. Okay. So like I said, it's like a celebration. I remember my dad used to say, um, you know, if we were dating, me and my sisters were dating somebody, he would always say, if y'all gonna go out, why are you putting miles on your car? You don't be running all over town to no Negro. You always he the man, you always let him come to you. And he would always say too, you don't marry nobody. And my sisters are married to um ministers. But the thing about it is, like, I'm not married yet. I got more of my dad's personality. I have a very outspoken, even though I'm real quiet. Like I don't know, my personality is something, but I'm a real good-hearted person, very loyal, right? And he used to always say, "Don't you dare marry a man, and you got to pay half the bills. If you got to come in paying half the bills, he can't afford to have you. So you need to wait until he can pay all of the bills, okay?" Because that's the era that my dad came from. That's the reason why when people go, "You're selfish," I'm not selfish. That's what I was told. I'm not going to go to dinner with a man and pay half. I can go sit by myself. Well, I pay this time and he pay next time. No, he going to pay every time. Real men don't want no woman paying no food bills for them. Okay? I don't care if my sisters and I would always take my dad to dinner or something for Father's Day, and he would end up paying for the whole. We had decided, we was like, well, he gonna end up paying the bill anyways. He wouldn't let us pay the bill, so we may as well, when we go to dinner, we may as well just have him extra gifts, because he's not gonna let us pay the bill, because he felt weird with us paying for the dinner bill. Okay. And it's funny because last year my dad kept saying to me, and I guess he knew that he was declining, but he didn't tell us because he was a young man still. He said, he told me, he said, it's Gal, he used to always say, Gal, look at Gal. I think it's time for you to start looking at softening up and getting you a husband. I was like, Dad, it ain't time yet. Me and you got to do this, this, and that. We working on this museum. I'll give me. He was like, no, Gal, I think it's time for you to get you a husband. I think it's time for you to go ahead and soften up some and get you a husband. You're gonna need that. And I had said in my mind, you know what? I got, me and my dad doing this and that. I ain't got time for that. But he knew, but I didn't. We didn't know. You know. And the beautiful thing about it is, like, me and my dad did radio together. We did TV together. I got all of those videos. I got all of that. And so because I got all of that, I got a lifetime of memories. I have all those videos of him being out there giving to the community. My dad been saying this for years. I want y'all to hear this. This was in 2020. Sometimes I would take my phone when I had them on TV and just record little clips. My dad was saying this in 2020, okay?
A lot of people is benefiting from crime. A lot of people is benefiting from crime within the city of Memphis because, according to the FBI, Memphis is number 2 on the worst cities in the United States.
Worse than the most dangerous city.
So, if you look at, they do not want to stop crime.
No.
Look what happened if they stop crime. If they stop crime, the bail bondsmen will go out of business.
True.
The lawyers will go out of business.
Definitely.
The judges,
yes.
The people who bring the food to the jailhouse, to feed the people, go out of go out of business. The people who bring the clothes, who clothe these people, will go out of business. Look at all the people who will go out of business.
Even the public defender office.
The public defender, yep.
That office is going to take a hit.
A lot of people will go out of business, go bankrupt if crime stops. So nobody's really trying to stop crime. I mean, just think, in the black community, even black people have got so sensitized or desensitized to black people getting killed until it don't faze them unless it's a member of their family.
But you know something though? And here's something that most people ain't even look at. The crime is so bad, you know it's bad when you got different funeral home parties running ass on you burn your loved one. Hey, I mean, they're actually.
Thank you, Miss C, for the cash out.
You can get this package, or you can get this package because you got so much crime and death being committed in the black community.
Think about this, though, Lord. It used to be a time that we only had churches on every corner.
Yeah.
Then it used to be a time we only had pawn shops on every corner.
Yeah.
Now we got funeral homes on every corner.
Man, what?
I mean,
and not only that, look at all the burial plots that are popping up around the county now. Yep. You look up there's a new burial plot being made because there are so many lives that are being lost within our community, and it's like nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But they say they do. They say they want to stop crime. They say they want to have a war on crime, but actuality, you really don't, because it's affecting your best friend's pocket. It's affecting your company, your side company that you got going. It is affecting your associate's business. So they really don't want to stop that crime, because if they did,
they can be stopped. Think about it. If they want to stop crime, they would do the same thing in the black community that they're doing in the white community. You don't see that much crime going in the white community. Nope. Not because our children is so much worse.
Mhm.
It's because everything, when it comes to crime, is being orchestrated.
Yeah.
It's being orchestrated. Everything they got, their business plan is based on crime in the black community.
If somebody look, in other words, this is something they've been planning for years.
That's right.
And over time, they slowly manipulate. They put this thing in place. They put that thing in place, and now.
Yeah, that man was so awesome. And if anybody think that I'm crazy enough to not brag on him, I've been bragging on him for years, and I bet I'll brag on him for years to come. He was just awesome. He was unbossed and unbought. He came from out of North Memphis, just like my grandfather, and built a fortune. Came from nothing and stepped out there and left with everything. That's why I don't give men excuses, because I seen it with my own eyes. I seen it with my own eyes. So it is a celebration. The only thing my dad had a passion for teaching people to read just like me, and helping to prepare people to get their GED, to continue their education. And he was a very big advocate for technical schools, which is why a technical school is being built right now, and it's going to be named after my dad. So and some more people are doing that. You know, he said he did it the way he wanted to do it, and he did. And he did. I'm very proud of him. Hold on. He was absolutely awesome. I'm looking for video where he and I were in the where he and I was in the video together. I think
Hey,
this is it.
loves. How you guys doing? I'm over here at my but like I said, going into hey and
I thought it was that video. Normally when I would be on live, he would walk in. And it's funny because I'm so accustomed, like he and I are the only two that got the key to my studio. And it's funny now because anytime I would hear something, I'm so used to looking back and seeing my dad walk through that door. And I got to get unaccustomed to that, because every time I look back, it's like I'm thinking that my dad is going to walk through that studio door. His keys will always be jingling when he walked in.
Well,
Yeah, we'll show you.
we'll show you. So I think a lot came out of this. I hope the current council, the council that's coming on January 1, I hope they understand that you can't just continue to ignore the people. You
Well,
have to give the people some attention.
and this past council has been governed that way for a long time. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying you had members
A
on the
majority.
Majority has been governed like, like you said, y'all work for me. I don't work for y'all. So hopefully now this council coming in can put the people back being first versus the business community like it should be.
Well, this council that's leaving was governing so far to the right that they was almost governing from a right winger standpoint. Hopefully, the council that we have right now will move a little bit more back to the center or a little bit more to the left, because the people at the bottom have been ignored for at least the last 2 terms, the last 8 years. They have been really, really ignored, probably more than usual, than ever. And the people came out and said, "Hey, enough is enough."
You're right, and when you think about
My dad's slogan was, "We have to reach back and get the people at the bottom and bring them to the top." That was always his slogan. We got to reach back and get the people, and I think that's one of the reasons why. But I'm getting stronger, because like for me, especially when people start cutting at me, that's why I was telling Demon, you know, it's devastating to me, but I'm getting stronger now as it relates to that, when I genuinely try to help people. Because of my dad's influence, I've been able to help so many people as far as with jobs and things of that nature. And the very people that because I would always reach back and get the people at the bottom who never would have, probably wouldn't have gotten an interview, who would not have even, who would have been overlooked, and try to get them an opportunity to get good government insurance and things of that nature. And those would be the very people that, some of those people would be the very ones that would try and bite me. And I promise you, it almost made me bitter. It almost made me bitter. And so my dad had to teach me, you do what you need to do. And when they bite you, you just know how to eliminate them and move on. But you don't stop reaching back at the bottom, because there are some people that truly won't help. And everything is not going to be thankful. I mean, when you're helping people, it's a thankless job. Don't even look for the thank yous or whatever. Do it because you know it's right. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to go into my other screen because it's some things in this screen that I can't see, that I can hold on. I'm gonna open up my other screen. Because I'm supposed to be able to see everything in this screen. Okay. You guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please make sure y'all hit the like button. But I have to say that I'm very blessed because I got to experience a wonderful, charismatic, hardcore, successful dad who got it out of the mud. He didn't have no silver spoons in his mouth. It was 12 of them, and he got it out of the mud. Okay? So when people say you radical, I was taught by the best. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Every summer we would go to different parks around the Memphis area and give back. And I guess I should have known, that last summer my dad was starting to get really sick because he didn't feel like it. He wasn't up for it, you know. But I'm gonna make sure that happens this summer. I have the connections with the same people that my dad did. I'm gonna make sure it happens this summer. Yeah, dads are protectors. Yes, they are. And it's funny because with my mother, with my mom, it's just my mother. I've always felt like I needed to be the protector of my mom. I don't know why. I guess because my mother's personality is so meek and mild. I always felt like I needed to protect her and my sister. Yeah. But I didn't talk the hour about my dad, you guys. Like I said, I'm doing as well as to be expected. Um, my dad used to always say it must, I mean, business, the business has to continue on. And so I have to do that. I'm the oldest, and so I have to my dad imparted everything in me so that I could lead the train once he got off. Yeah. But let's catch up, you guys. As I was saying, I had put something in my members um a members video about some things that I wanted to start doing. And I know, like, for us, we talk a lot about the Young Doss case, and Young Doss case is very, very important, and we'll always talk about the Young Doss case. Um, you know, I'm not gonna be phony about it, and say, well, there's not really anything going on. There is a lot going on in Young Dolph's case in the background because we already know how big Young Dolph's case is and everything. And the thing about this Young Dolph's case, and I hope that I'm wrong. I feel like um as all of this stuff that's going on in the background starts to heat up, people won't be able to decipher that ain't no vlogger solve the Young Doss case. Can't no vlogger put out nothing that the police don't know, right? I think that they are afraid that somebody is going to tell a vlogger something that the police don't know. But it goes to show how behind these criminals are. These people that was involved in this are really mentally twisted because there's nothing that I can get on here and say that the police don't already know. The police are in contact with witnesses that I could never meet or anybody else could ever know about. They have the intelligence that a damn shade tree hacker could never have, right? So, but I think, and this is just my opinion, that the same things that happened when Young Dolph was first killed, when they didn't think that people had they didn't think the police had information, folks was being killed, you know, who they thought might have known too much, you know, and people have kind of put themselves in bad positions. Some of these people that think that they've gotten away with that, from what I hear, they put themselves in bad positions because the police already knew what had happened and who was involved the night that Dolph was killed. How in the hell y'all think they could go get Cornelius about 2 weeks after? Them folks didn't just pull Cornelius over because what they say is tags or something was out on a ticket or something like that. Them folks pulled Cornelius' ass over because that was the opportunity to pull him over to get him, because they already had been watching him. Let's be honest now. People claim that they are investigators, but you know they know. But we have to, you have to think like one, right? And so you know, a lot of those people, they already knew, because anytime you get people consistently calling, you know, you get over 500 tips. What, in the first night? That was the first night. You get over 500 tips about what had happened. I worked in Crime Stoppers. I know when we would take those tips, we had to take them directly over to homicides. Young Dolph's case had got so hot because we weren't allowed to let investigators have tip sheets, because that was like money. Because the chief had this thing about not allowing them to just pay their informants, right? That was a system. But with the Young Dolph's case, that was different. Homicide started taking tips and talking to people because the case was so hot. And so I said that to say this. I don't think people understand that there is nothing that the people don't already know. Right? And they'll never find out who the witnesses were. They'll never know who gave those tips. Okay. And so I think people are going to start scrambling and stuff when these next indictments are made and stuff. Hell, they already being watched and they sending folks out. They sending people out. Okay. That's the reason why I say, for those vloggers that are not involved, because these folks are mentally sick. They get mad. Oh, she the reason why they gonna come and get me. It's a lot of mentally ill folks. Okay. So those vloggers who were not hired to change the narrative, it's one thing when people are paid to change a narrative. It ain't nothing against the law about that. But what some of these vloggers are doing is playing criminal as it relates to how involved they are with these record companies, right? And how they'll do anything. But you know, when you got one person that's dealing with the record company and they're able to send out minions, okay, they're able to mastermind and send out minions to do their dirty work, it's easy for them to push fools that'll do anything for some money to the limit. They feel like, oh, it'll never touch me. I send these folks out and get them crumbs. They will push them to the limit. So I don't be playing when I say some of these vloggers going to jail, because they going. They overstepped. They crossed the line on and doing criminal activities. If you want to change the narrative, do that. It ain't nothing against the law for lying about something. But when you start committing crimes against persons and cyber crimes, that's something else. And so I said that to say this. I believe, and I hope not, but I know people are mentally sick. That folks are not going to be able to decipher that the police, all the evidence that the police need, they already got. How in the hell you gonna have over 200,000 pages and counting and not have what you need? But because they have not been arrested yet, they're gonna feel like somebody just dropped a dime on me. No, they just been watching you. Okay. And so I think people are going, because of the mental illness and instability, they're going to start doing crazy stuff again because it has not registered in their mind. These folks are already, when they go put them handcuffs on them, these folks been had me. They're going to affiliate that with somebody else when the witnesses have already been told what they needed to tell. And the folks just already collected their evidence. They would never know who the witnesses are. Okay. So I said that to say this. I want to get into talking about other cases. It's other cases that need our attention also. I hear people send me emails saying that, this case happened in their state, and they're kind of similar. This case happened in Philly, this case happened in Missouri, this case happened down in Louisiana. Let's start talking about those cases too. My dad loved it when I talked about cases like that. That was bringing attention to African Americans who need justice. Right. I always had a passion for talking about domestic violence cases, and now we're seeing situations as far as domestic violence with men. Look at what happened the other day. With the young lady that could not accept the rejection, and she shot her husband. I don't know if she did it on purpose, but she shot him. And I think it had everything to do with not wanting, not being able to accept that rejection. He probably would have went back home in a few days. But, her not being able to control him walking out that door, she just didn't want him to walk out that door. Because in her mind, he was probably going to be with another woman, and she had a mother that was there instigating that and escalating that. So she kept making her mother, Khadijah, her mother kept making her more and more and more desperate. Her mother kept making her more desperate. Okay. And she went and got that gun, but she claimed that he pushed her, but she kept hitting her because she kept hitting him first. So there are a lot of men. Men don't like to report domestic violence or anything like that because, I think for them, they feel like it makes them look weak to report that a woman is hitting them. And unfortunately, I would have to say this, from working in law enforcement for so many years, sometimes I don't think that the police take it as seriously when it happens to a man as they should. They kind of sniggle about it, and they don't take it seriously until she goes too far and shoots him. We saw that man was trying to leave. He was trying to get away from there. And there are a lot of men, because they know that they can't win with that. They know that they can't win if they hit that woman back, because the first thing she's going to do is call the police, and he's going to be the one to go to jail because they're going to look at him as the aggressor. So he was doing the right thing by trying to get out of that house, because you could tell they had been down that road before. He knew that he could not win in that situation. And she shot him. And right, she shot him on Facebook Live. And the thing that's so sad is that's like the one of the, it's probably been more, but I'm thinking about that other young lady down in Shreveport, Louisiana, where her husband, her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend shot her on Facebook Live. That's why I say it's a lot of twisted people. They feel like they need an audience to go and do something to somebody. That's crazy. Hey, Kimberly. her boyfriend after assaulting him in the elevator. Oh wow, Joy Loves God. I didn't see that one. His mom was outside. She drove him there. So the young man from down in Mississippi that we saw the other day, his mother was outside waiting on him. Because like I said, she kept getting more. Her mother could have de-escalated that situation. Her mother could have said to her, look here, if he want to leave, let him go. You calm down. If he don't want to be with you, let him walk. Because, I mean, they had been going through that forever. He was going to come back. Unless she knew that he had gotten tired. Women can tell when men. I'm going to tell you one thing about us as women. We could tell when a man's energy has changed and there's another woman in the atmosphere. We could always tell. And I'm sure that she could tell because she had been with him since they was in junior high school. Men don't know how to juggle different women. They change when they get them a woman. As women, we don't change. We know how to we know how to keep it going and be the same. But they change when they think they got them something better. Until they realize it ain't. She was there to pick him up. Oh wow. Michelle Johnson says, wow, his mom witnessed her son being murdered. Wow. By his wife. Lord have mercy. She was outside. She didn't want to see him walk outside of that house and get in the car with his mother because she kept saying, who you talking to? So do y'all think that she meant to kill him because she said she didn't know? I didn't know it was one in the chamber. Do y'all think that she was so angry that subconsciously she didn't know what she was doing, or it was a mistake? It's gonna be hard for her to say that it was a mistake when she could be heard on Facebook saying it's gonna be a murder today. I strongly agree that the mama instigated. Yeah, the mother instigated the whole situation when she could have de-escalated that as mother. See, God had her there for a reason. She was there cooking. She was sitting up talking about, I'm over here cooking. And she wanted for the daddy to cook for the kids while her daughter was chasing her husband around the house trying to start a fight. She could have been cooking. Joy Loves God says she thinks that she meant to do it. I don't know, because first thing she said, oh God, I'm going to jail. The mother should have de-escalated that situation. Instead, she was trying to argue with him. You could tell the more that they tried to gang up on him, he was trying to hurry up and get out of that house. She upped the gun and pulled the trigger. 5 pounds of pressure. That's true. You're right. And that's exactly what they're going to say in court. New to you. She was hitting him, and I think he tried to push her off of him. Then she tried to push her off of him. And that's when she said, you hit me, because she started fighting him first. But she was trying to get a reaction out of him because I think she wanted him to fight with her so she could call the police on him. She didn't want to see him walk out of that house unless he was going to jail. And so I believe the jury gonna look at it like that too. She either wanted him to the only way she wanted him to leave out of the house was going to jail or in a gurney, and he left out in a gurney. And the kids were there too, putting them in danger. Right. Okay, you guys, I'm back. It makes me so happy when my mother called me and I can hear the strength in her voice. That makes me very happy to when I see the people around me are being strong also. Okay, Kimberly. Teresa Kane said the kids was crying and she said your dad is dead. Yes. So I'm assuming, but somebody said she shot him in the back of the head. Did she shoot him in the back of the head? No, the mother didn't help the situation. And she consistently instigated that situation. Hold on, you guys. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Yeah, the prosecutor is gonna have a field day with that. It wasn't premeditated, so she probably won't get first degree murder. I wonder how. Let me see. I should know, and I live in Mississippi. Let me see how what the penalty is for second degree murder in Mississippi. Oh my God. It says second degree murder in Mississippi is not as harsh as first degree murder in Mississippi. They won't seek the death penalty. So that means she's gonna get life in jail. She's gonna get life. It said they just don't seek the death penalty, but they're gonna seek life in jail. Definitely, let's see the minimum and maximum. Hold on. Yeah, she got everything working against her because they said that they look at things such as not having a prior um not having any prior or criminal activity, but I think him and her had a history of domestic violence, I believe, because I think she had gone to jail before. Yeah, she was arrested after the shooting, but I think that they had been known to fight. Teresa said this other blogger had the audio of the cops talking, and they have her cell phone. She tried to mess with his body, and his mom told her to get the hell away from him. Oh, wow. The mom was saying, I have to cook for the children now. She has to take care of those children now. For now, yes, Her mother was talking about, I got to be over here cooking for the kids. Now she's going to have to cook for them every day. Because her daughter going to be in jail for a real long time. She's going to be cooking for them kids for years. I mean, if she was going to come over there and cook, I mean, she may as well had just shut the hell up. I'm not going to go somewhere and be fussing the whole time and instigating a debacle. I'm not going to do that. The grandmother didn't really want to get involved, but she too could have done more to avoid the situation. I don't think the grandmother should be able to keep them. She don't need those babies. I'm sorry. No, because the mother is toxic herself. You can tell that the mother is toxic. That's where that girl get that from. I tell you, it's sad. I hate that. Yeah, because her mother is toxic. Her mother is toxic. Like I said, I can't understand. I understand as a mom why she was not trying to diffuse that situation. That's right, Daryl. She was already there cooking. Hold on, you guys. Okay, y'all. Daryl says, I hate overbearing grandmas. She was used to them arguing and fighting. Then the grandma started screaming why she didn't scream at her daughter. Right. She should have been screaming at her daughter saying, while you chasing him trying to fight, you ought to be in this kitchen cooking. Why couldn't the daughter cook? She had all of that energy to be in there arguing and fussing and fighting with him. Why was she not in there cooking food for her kids? The daughter could have been in there cooking. That would have took her mind off of being desperate and chasing him and trying to fight. I mean, that's what I think. I said, I wish it was some kind of way that the mother could be arrested because she escalated that situation. She could have quickly diffused that situation by empowering her daughter. Let him walk on out the door. Girl, he needs you. You don't need him. This, and that. She could have diffused that. So she definitely instigated it. Yeah, I believe I heard her say, because when she kept hitting him, she said he, oh no, he pushed me. Well, women like that, she was trying to get a reaction out of him because it was killing her that he was leaving. You know, you kill a person when you don't give them no reaction. You know, you just walk on out the door, you just leave, you stop answering that phone, you don't give them no reaction. That kills a toxic person. They get more and more and more desperate. They'll hire a hitman to come to your house. Okay? When you don't give them what they want, because she wanted his attention. And when you don't give people like that that's imbalanced your attention, they become real unstable. Khadijah was out of order as a wife. No wonder he didn't want her. Right. He slapped her, she stated, but it wasn't that day. Okay, it wasn't that day. Oh wow. It's sad, y'all. I hate that it had to come to that. He was only 28 years old. Now she was sitting up talking about he was gay. You know, I don't know if he was gay or not, because the messages that she was showing was he was trying to holler at the ladies. He was trying to holler at the ladies. So I don't know if he was gay or not. I think if he had been trying to holler at some men, she'd have put them up. She'd have put those texts. She couldn't control herself. So you know she would have put those texts up. Still pray for their family and his family, because this has affected. Yeah, it has definitely affected two families, because you know, the kids and his family. She said he was gay, but that's cap. She just meant, yeah, she claimed that, you know, she was dealing with a bisexual husband, but you know, she didn't provide no proof of that. I wonder what would make her think that he was bisexual. You know, if you thought your man was bisexual, why are you still with him? Right? I mean, I don't want a man that deal with other women, let alone another man. And if he was trying to leave and she wouldn't let him, they might charge her with kidnapping or false. Well, we saw all of that. I'm trying to figure out though, what made her go on Facebook Live? What made her go live to show that argument. It's something weird about that, ain't it? What would make her go on Facebook Live to show that argument? I guess God wanted everybody to see. Maybe, that was just God's plan for people to see her and her mama couldn't lie. That woman was a baby mama terrorist. A lot of black women are emotionally disturbed like that. A lot, not just black women. It's a lot of women, not just black women, just tripping now. Crazy comes in all colors. I don't know what your race is, just tripping. I be talking about my race, but I love my race now. But all black women ain't like that. It's some bad shit crazy black women, but they come in all races and colors, not just us. Okay. That's you're right. Karens too. That's right. The Karens too. And the Marias too. The Karens and the Marias. Okay. The Karens and the Marias and the Bonquishas. They come in all colors. Crazy. Are we talking about ratchet crazy or just crazy? Shoot, I see now people of all races, when they get these folks get mad, they be flat-foot ratchet crazy. All of them. Especially when you're talking about matters of the heart. People don't know how to look at that witch that lied on Emmett Till. Right. They didn't have no conscience about that. She waited. Is she dead yet? Is that lady dead? That's right, Yolanda. People have to be honest. People are not honest. They like to play with folks, and that's not cool. That's how you get yourself messed over. When you playing with people's feelings and stuff. What women are gonna have to do is women and men, what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to start saying, look, you can't play with me. It ain't nothing worse than a confused person. A person that's got one foot in, one foot out, they're gonna always hurt you. But the thing about it is people forget that they have the power. I have the power, I have the power on who I allow to walk in and out of my life. Right. And that's what people forget. No, you can't have one foot in, one foot out. One day you cool, then the next day you feeling like somebody else. My dad used to always say this, okay? My dad used to always say this. I don't deal with people. I don't deal with fence riders. He said, my dad used to always say, if I find out you a fence rider, I'm going to do you a favor and push you on over on the other side because you couldn't be for me. And if you come over on my side, I ain't going to be able to trust you because you've been sitting on that fence too long. Because a solid person going to choose one way or the other. Even if you choose the other side, I got to respect you for being solid like that, right? Because I know where you coming from. But if you sit your butt on that fence, I can't trust you. There's a lot of people in their graves right now because of people that straddle the fence. Okay? And when they finally get off the fence, it is a little shaky because they got so many splinters up their ass. They're going to walk funny. It ain't nothing solid about them. They can't even sit down right. When she was filming it, she would pause and read the message. That let you know she was mentally ill. Was she going live because she thought some woman was watching? Right. The best thing to do is get your stuff when the person is not home. I used to have this friend that the way that she would get her husband at the time to stay with her is she would always talk about killing herself. I'm gonna kill myself. And that would always change his tune because he didn't want that on his conscience. He didn't want that on his conscience knowing that he did something. And even though he didn't want to be there no more, but she would always say, well, I'm gonna kill myself. And so it would always make him feel bad. So he would start trying to talk her down and all that. And I told her one day, I said, listen, let me just say this. Stop saying that because he gonna leave you if you keep doing that. I wouldn't want to guilt a man into staying with me. I wouldn't. I don't want to guilt him into staying with me. Well, I do feel like killing myself. I said, okay. One day she went at home. That man waited just as good till he knew she was good and gone somewhere. And got his stuff and left. The ladybird that killed Emmett took that to her grave. Never stop talking about your father. These stories motivate me. Good. Thank you, Hero Fix TV. I'll always talk about my dad. My dad is definitely my hero. He is definitely my hero. Like nobody could ever come and take that place of him ever. Like there would never be another Superman in my book. Like my dad was my storybook Superman. He definitely was. Be truly grateful. He was saying he was going to call the police, and he even said the grandmother that her daughter was pulling guns on him, and she just brushed it off. Teresa said her mother should have called the police to stop it instead of uh, egging her daughter on. That's right. I can't stand fence riders. No, I can't stand no fence riders. Roberta says that's the worst guilt to put on a person. I'm telling you, she would always say that I'm gonna kill myself. I said, please stop saying that. He gonna leave you. And he did. He did. He left for the first opportunity he got because he was ready to leave anyways. I don't know how I would feel. As a matter of fact, I know I would feel a certain way knowing that a person is with me because I'm making them feel guilty about doing it, about about being there with me, making them feel guilty to do it. That's right. It's either black or white. No gray. I don't deal in gray areas. Period. And y'all, even in her she still did not act like she on her mug shot she didn't look like she had been crying. She just kind of looked evil, didn't it? She just kind of looked evil. Maybe she snapped out or some hell. I don't know. She did. She came clean in the end. At the end of her life, they should have took them 2-3 days her ass had left to live and put her in jail and let her croak over in there. She had that young boy killed. I'm talking about Emmett Till. She did at the end of her life on her deathbed. She said that Emmett Till did not assault her. And like I said, even on her deathbed, because they could have rolled her in the jail and let her finish out her days there. Let her eat jail food, all that. I cleaned the whole house when he went to work. I wish I could have seen the look on his face when he walked in. I don't think she ever cried. She was just, yeah, she was just screaming. Because the first thing she said, "Oh my God, I'm getting ready to go to jail." She was performing for the viewers. She kept looking into the camera and moving. Yes, she did. Like I said, she flipped. That girl flipped out. But I think, she was already crazy. And her mama crazy too. I think that lady died. She said that Emmett Till never whispered at her or something. She said that he didn't do what what she said he did. Yeah, she knew she was dying. She knew it. And they should have rolled her on into the prison and let her live out them last few days in jail. I tell you. Yeah, I gotta go to the beauty shop today. Since when my dad was in the hospital, child, I told y'all my weave was looking a mess. I normally go and get my weave done. My hair is so thick, so I went ahead and just took it out because I can when it starts to look a certain way, it's just go ahead take it out. And I washed my hair and been wearing it in a Afro puff ponytail, and I might get it my hair silk press. It's so thick though. But I'm going to the beauty shop and today I to at least look normal because like I said, the only thing I had been doing was taking a shower and going being with my dad. We was looking at movies and stuff like that. Um that witch should have been dead. She lived a long time and I hope she suffered. That witch should have been dead. The grand jury refused to indict her. Wow. Oh no, that was just wrong. All right, y'all. I sure did enjoy the morning coffee. So this is what I want y'all to do. Like, I'm gonna put a post in the members only, and I'm gonna put a video in there for my members, and I want because I want for it. I want us to all work together on this, on some of these situations that I'm gonna present to you all, and I want for y'all to work with me on this. Okay, that's what I want. And so I'm gonna put up a video in my members, and I want y'all to comment on it and tell me what y'all think. And comment on it, tell me what y'all think. if there are some cases and stuff that, but I'm gonna talk about it though in the video. Yesterday, Miss Teresa, yesterday. He did yesterday. Yep. Yesterday, I had to stay off of social media. I'm talking about on Facebook, because people started posting pictures, of my dad being out in the community and, being happy and just looking at his smile and stuff. It started to mess with me a little bit, but I've had to pray. I was up late and I've been praying it, and I've been praying for God to continuously keep me strong for my family. Like I said, I'm the oldest, and my dad, he drove our train to success, as he would say, the train to success for a long time. And he prepared us. He said, so when he jump off, we have to continue on. And like I said, he imparted a lot of stuff in me. So I feel an obligation to continuously drive that train to the station that my dad wanted it to be in, and to make sure I lead, my sisters and stuff. So that's something that I must do. So I can't break down. I can't let them see me a certain way. I have to do what my dad wants me to do. Because my dad and I were business partners. We talk at least three times a day. It's weird because this time last year, my dad and I was talking at least 3 times a day, because we were we were renovating our museum and stuff. So we was talking at least 3 times a day. And my dad and I was going to court because, the museum that he bought, child, I guess a black man wasn't supposed to be able to buy a museum, to buy a building cash down in the downtown Memphis area. So some folks tried to pull some mess and was taking us to court, I guess, as if we weren't going to fight it. And we fought. Hell, they ran out of money. We did. And we won. Okay. It was our building. How you just gonna think you're gonna take a building from somebody who has paid cash for a building just because you say you want it? They try to pull that on him because that ain't supposed to be a building for a black man, right? That ain't supposed to be an area for a black man to continue a legacy for his children and stuff, and to put what he want there. So but he was a fighter. My auntie, one of his sisters, came into the room right before he passed. She said, I just know all these years you've been fighting. I just can't believe that you tired. I can't believe it. You like to fight. You like to fight. You always fought. But he fought the right way. Right. And so I have to take some of that strategy that because my dad was a silent fighter. And then all of a sudden it's bang, boom, like a boomerang. That's why he won everything. He used to always get on me. You get emotional and you tell folks stuff, what you gonna do. You don't tell them nothing. Hey man, my one of the first things that I want to do, and I plan to have that going by summer, is to make sure that GED program is going. People feel better, when they have their education and stuff. When people know how to read, when they start learning how to read, you'll be surprised, because we have a program where we teach reading, people how to read and stuff. That was one of the things that my dad was passionate about. Adults, when they start learning how to read sentences and things of that nature, y'all, when they start reading that stuff on their own, I mean, their whole character start to change. Their confidence go up, right? And if we could continue that, we could start pushing these educational programs and helping people to build their confidence level and getting them ready where they can go and make a living for themselves. Start introducing these technical schools. There's going to be a technical school named after my dad, because that's something that my dad was going to work on. And thank God, some people within the city of Memphis is going to finish that. They're going to build that and finish that, right? And they could start, because college ain't for everybody. So they started taking technical schools out of the technical classes out of the schools, because they wanted for Black people to get in debt. People go and start businesses. I mean, I know they got cosmetology, but when I was in junior high school, they had shop where we would be down there. You know, we was carving out wood and making tables and stuff. You know, making wooden tables. They had auto mechanic stuff in schools. This is stuff that we got to fight for, and we have to fight with our politicians, like the school board, the city council, and all of that, to make sure that they incorporate this stuff and put it back in the school. Home economics. That's where in home economics we used to cook. They taught us how to cook and how to sew. If they don't want to go to college, they can go to technical school, start their own businesses, and become millionaires. But they found a way to take that out because they wanted to further handicap the Black community. So that's one of the things that we're going to be dedicated to doing. And when my dad started getting sick, my mother had to talk to me when I knew a few days back, when I knew that it was gonna happen. I'm strong now, but people don't know what I've gone through. I've had to prepare myself up to this point, because like last week, I wasn't sure if I would be able to make it. So I remember when the doctor came in and said, you know, hey, your dad is a strong person. His numbers, y'all, was perfect. And the doctors just didn't understand it. They was like, dog, his oxygen is at 100%. His numbers are not that of a person that is dying. And so, I had hope, but it was just, my dad said he did it the way he wanted to do it. He couldn't live with those ailments. And it was time for him to jump off of that train. On his own terms. Hey, Anissa. And so he left a legacy behind. And we'll continue that. You know, but last week I remember calling my mama and I said, I don't want to do media no more, because all of this, everything that I started doing with my dad, because of my dad, and it was successful because of my dad and with my dad. I told my mama, I said, I'm not getting back on YouTube. I'm giving up my TV show. I don't want to do nothing. And my mother said, well, why are you going to do that? I said, I can't do it no more. I'm not going to continue with the nonprofit organization. I don't want to do nothing. And it was because I was feeling a certain way last week when I was looking at the doctor, and I said, well, I said, well, what can you do? And my dad said he was ready. It was time. I couldn't accept it. So at that moment, the enemy tried to take over my mind. So if I sound strong today, it is because I had to go back into prayer. I got a lot of people praying for me. Hold on, y'all. I've been getting a lot of people to text me. Yeah. I've been getting a lot of people to text me. We're supposed to wear all white um to my dad's celebration. And y'all, here's the thing. He said he didn't even want a big celebration. Not he was like, no, because people start to get, crazy and emotional after about 30 minutes, but we're gonna do longer than 30 minutes. His specific orders was no celebrate him for 30 minutes and then let him rest, because he did everything he wanted to do while he was living. Yeah. So let me get off of here because I look a hot mess. I got to go and do something for myself. So my stylist, she was like, I don't work on no Mondays and Tuesdays. I said, yeah, but I look like Aquanisha. I at least don't want to look like I'm thrown in away, because like I've just been consistently just going spending time with my dad and looking at movies and stuff like that. Like my cases and stuff, I had to bring some people in to finish those out for me. So I guess the only good thing about that is that I get to go. I guess I get to go to the beauty shop today, because tomorrow, we got to go finish. The only thing that my dad didn't do is he didn't choose his casket. So we'll choose that. It's everything is paid for. We we got to go choose that tomorrow. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel doing that, tomorrow. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do everything for myself today at least maybe I need to look better or something, because I look a mess. I look a hot mess, because for the last week, like I said, I just been going to the hospital and stuff. So anyways, you guys, I love you too, Miss Roberta. Thank you, Spike's mom. Anyways, you guys, I thank you for your love and support. My dad was everything to me. Hold on. Just like my mother is, and my kids, and everybody. It's just that my dad and I had a business relationship. And I guess even when he started to hold on, you guys. I love this picture. This is when he opened up Miss Girlie's restaurant for Thanksgiving. Last year was the only year he didn't get a chance to do it. And gave back. This is what he loved doing. I love this picture. One of his friends, well, one of the guys that had worked, with him, had posted this up. I love this picture. Yesterday was my first time seeing it. Okay, you guys, I got to get off of here so I can go to the. Thank you, Dima. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you for sitting up late nights with me. She be bothered with me late nights sometimes. Um, I was doing good until I looked at his picture. Okay, y'all, I got to get off because I got to go. But thank you guys for your support and your condolences and your love. I appreciate that so much. Okay, I love you guys. I do. I'm going to be okay. I'm already okay. Okay. I'll talk with you guys later.